What happens if you're doing a book signing, but your decor for your table does not arrive on time? We all know that book signings can be dramatically different. Some are refined and elegant, some just want your books on the table, and some want you to have the most flashy lights and sequins and signage and stuff that you can have on your table to get people's attention, and you may not even know until you arrive. That actually happened to me once. I got on a plane, I flew to an event, and my friend, once I had arrived, told me that we were supposed to be really flashy and decorative about our tables, and I had nothing. So what do you do in that case when your decor doesn't arrive on time, or you arrive and you realize, I need to fix something, I need to do something because I don't fit in? You have to be creative in those moments. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to give you some ideas for things you can do as well. So when I arrived to this event and I was told, you're supposed to decorate and make it look pretty, I had a moment because I couldn't go out and buy things. I couldn't buy things and then send them back to where I lived, and all of the stuff that I could potentially have done, I wasn't able to do. I just didn't have the time frame or the ability to do it, but I had to do something. I had to make the effort. So I wanted to not spend money. I wanted to do something quick and easy, and I wanted to do something that I could discard when I was done because I didn't have the ability to take it home with me on a plane. So I went and I got some newspaper. And I created paper flowers, and I created all sorts of things. And if I had had more time and I wasn't so busy doing other things that I had to do because I was involved with that event, I could have created garland. I could have created some signs. I could have created stuff. I just simply used what I had access to. Now you can do this with book pages. You can go to like a dollar store and get a cheap book and create things with. You can get a newspaper, which most book conventions are held in like a hotel lobby. And sometimes they just have newspapers laying around for people who are staying at the hotel. And if you're one of them, ta-da, you have free decorations. So I got free decorations. I went and I grabbed some newspapers, and I was able to knock out some decor, which actually matched with my photo series that I created where I had done newspaper dresses for my models representing book characters. But that's another conversation. If you want to have it, let me know down in the comments. And so I was able to connect it to my book, do something fancy, do something unique that nobody else is doing. And I was able to do it for free with just a few minutes of my time. In fact, I did it while I was there. I grabbed the newspapers, I walked in, I set up my table, and then between the time I had finished setting up my books and my table and all my things, and the time people were allowed in, I took care of business. I got my decor done and I dressed everything up, and everybody commented on it. So you have to be inventive and you have to be creative. So you can do things with paper. You can, if you have the opportunity to go to a store, you can go and grab some like sparkly things and jeweled things and whatever. If you can go to like Michael's or a craft store, they have like garland if you're near the holidays. There's stuff that you can do that is showing that you make the effort without going out of your way or spending a ton of money or time on it if you were not prepared or it simply didn't come in time. I know that some people order things well in advance and they simply don't show up. So you have to get creative. Let's say that you're responsible for bringing your tablecloth and you ordered one of those really cool ones that kind of goes in around the legs so it looks like it's a table and then it bows in on the sides. Really nice looking, but it doesn't show up on time. Go to a fabric store, grab a piece of fabric and drape it. You can get something that's kind of sheer and you can create a two-toned tablecloth. You can gather it in the front, think very prom-like with these things. Just using fabric, you can do a ton of stuff with. As a professional photographer, I just take fabric and I create full-on dresses around my models when they show up in the studio that last throughout the photo shoot. And then we take them off, take it down, unpin things, and now it's fabric again. So there's a ton of ways that you can be creative, a lot of things that you can be doing, and you're looking for what's around you. What do you have that you can do? What do you have access to? Can you get to a store and get a bed sheet? If you can't get fabric, what can you do? How can you tie things uniquely? How can you be adding in bits of sparkle? Do you have access to paper? Do you have access to other things? Do not, and I mean, some people will think, well, let me just go outside and see what I can get. And they'll get like leaves and they'll get like tree branches and they'll get flowers. And that's all well and good, except a lot of people are allergic to those things. So you should not do that. I'll just say it. Don't do that because you can make your patrons sick, so the people who are coming to see you, but you can really make the people next to you sick, even if you're not allergic to it. As somebody who is highly allergic to these things and would be like really, really sick if you did that, please don't do that. Don't be that person. But look around you. See what you can access. See what you can get. Again, I used newspapers from a hotel lobby to create my decorations. And I did really well and everybody talked about it. And you can do things like that too. Go to the dollar store and get some tissue paper. You can get a pack of tissue paper for $1.25 at this point. And you can create all sorts of like pom-pom things you can hang. You can create decorations and just stuff, pops of color. So there's a lot of things that you can be doing, but you have to be creative. You have to be inventive and you have to think these things through. So if you're not a creative and inventive person, you should be on Pinterest. You should be on social media looking things up before you ever even remotely consider signing up for a book event. Have your backup plan. If you're not a creative person and can't wing it as things happen, you need to be a prepared person. Look up what you can do if all else fails. And if you are going to a book signing, but you don't know if it's like a really flashy thing or a really subtle thing, bring something easy. Again, a newspaper, tissue paper, things that are just flat and folded up, just part of the box of books. And then if you need it, pull it out, make your things, do your life. And if you don't, well, then it's there for the next time, right? So you have options with this. You just have to be creative and mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it and respectful of the people around you, because if it's too much, too scented, too big, too loud, too whatever, too reflective and glittery and shooting light into people's eyes, that could be a problem. So be respectful of the people around you, especially the other vendors, and be mindful of what's going to draw in the attention of potential readers and not repel them, right? Okay, drop your questions down below. We're continuing to help you navigate the world of your book signing events and dropping daily videos helping you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable and most stress-free year ever. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.